All my lovelies. 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 Sing it now. Hello. This is Sergidasu from the Sergiverse Pod. That Sergiverse Pod, yes. Today is an All My Lovelies edition of the pod, where I will be having a lovely, one of my ever so amazing lovelies on. I'm going to ask them a whole bunch of questions, where they've been, where they're at now, where they're going. And hopefully in doing so, I introduce you into your own newfound lovely, someone that you can vibe with, someone that you could possibly connect with. I do hope you give us but a moment of your time, and you might just find someone that really sticks to you. I hope you enjoy. Let's get it. We have known each other since high school. Like, no joke. We have known each other for a long time now. Have we talked all those years? No, but that didn't really diminish the friendship, and I'm grateful for that. So, without any further rambling, allow me to bring in my dearest kohai, my lovely of lovelies, Kai Mote. Hi, Kai. How are you doing, my dear?
Woo! Yeah, woo! Okay. Thank you so much for having me, Sergi. It's a, wait. This is not Academy speech. I'm not going to say all that. What I would like to say is I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm very interested to see well, I can't see you,
Yes.
but I'm very interested to hear what you have in mind for tonight. And let's get that cracking.
Yes, of course. So, I do want to go ahead and get this out of the way since I know that people with ears to hear most likely are wondering what's all that background noise? Well, Sergi's outside. Sergi's enjoying some really lovely weather. I'm actually sitting by the water here in the old Baltimore at the harbor section. And it's just a very nice night. I could have looked at trying to find a nice quiet cafe, but a lot of the cafes that would be open at the time that we are recording this, they're not open. And I just realized that if I were to go back to where I stay at right now, it probably wouldn't be any quieter. So I was just like, well, why not be in the elements? Why not enjoy this beautiful night and try and get some recording now? So apologies if it is very distracting and if it kind of turns you off from this episode. I do apologize. Hopefully in the future I can remedy that. But either way, the show must go on. What I do have in store is just kind of talking with Yukai as far as like not only just our history as like coming up through high school, becoming full fledged adults and whatnot, living in North Carolina and just kind of where we're at right now in this stage of life, but also, of course, where we're looking to try and go forward and maybe get some perspective shots, if we will, as for on certain things. But I guess the best thing to start off with is just how this all began for us. Uh, do you perchance recall how we came about meeting one another back in high school?
That is an interesting question. And all I can really say in response to that is it must have been algebra. It was something. It was something. I think it was algebra because it was, okay, let's set the scene, right? It's
Yeah.
the early 2010s. Well, it's not even 2010 yet,
Hmm.
actually, because we graduated 2010. But you've got a dark classroom, you've got the overhead projector, and here
Yep.
comes Sergi themselves. Oh, actually, what is this? What's this podcast rated?
This podcast is rated 18 plus because I want to keep it real and raw. So if you gotta let it fly, then let it fly.
Sergi walks in with the fattest ass I have ever seen.
Wow! Oh my! Oh my God! I had a feeling that's where this was going, but I'm still willing to let it rock. Oh, but yes,
And the
continue.
cutest eyebrows that have like they've got like dragon
Oh
eyebrows.
my
It's
god!
really great. It's so cool.
Wow.
Why can't my eyebrows do
Oh
that? They don't
no!
do that.
Wow.
I'm very disappointed.
Not you getting ready to make. Oh, not you trying to make me blush. Like this is. I'm glad I don't have video on. You don't know. Oh my goodness. Well played, well played. But yes, I do recall that. I recall a couple of different things, different instances. Since you mentioned my eyebrows, I do remember you having that infatuation with my eyebrows, and it's been one of those features of mine that I've never really like taking full appreciation for. But it's like I feel like you were the one person that made me to acknowledge, hey, yeah, these are actually not too bad. And funny that you mentioned those because one of my friends that I recently came to meet and hang out with in DC, he recently spoke nicely about my eyebrows, and I was just like, wow, I don't. Maybe I'm just not like putting myself over enough and doing enough like work on my eyebrows like I should. But maybe that's where this new era of mine is going to take me. It's just kind of like really accentuating those. So thank you for that.
I'm just saying, they're great. They're just
Oh
great.
my god, you're great
In
though.
times like these, a good set of eyebrows will take you far. True words.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I stand it. I think we should go ahead and we should print that on a shirt or something. I think you should just like copyright that and like get money off of that. Like people are going to acknowledge that and they're just going to have to pay you for that. And I'm okay with that. I totally support this. I mandate it. I'm willing to go ahead and have my likeliness put on like a hand drawn uh, design of yours so that you could go ahead and make money off of it. I don't mind. I'm just saying.
The bucks, the money. Nah. But I would say that's interesting. That's interesting for real, for real. I'll be interested to see like what you have in mind. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like I know for me, like whenever I think of back to like high school years and whatnot, like there were a couple of standout moments and experiences, but I feel like a lot of the moments and experiences that really meant something to me involved a couple of people. And I would say that you were definitely one of the people that fit into that like category for me, where it's like, yeah, this person was really something for me, and I'm glad that we were able to like become friends and just keep in contact even afterwards. And it's like for me, I had my whole like story arc of, well, I'm gonna leave this town and go and experience life, and hopefully you guys are gonna be a okay. And it's like I feel like to some degree that was what happened, but I feel like me personally, I do wish I would have been a lot more connected with like yourself and other people. But it's like life happens, and I can't really sit there and feel bad for myself or try and like play it off as like, oh, like I really did you dirty, I treated you like trash. Like, no, it's just like, I guess I looking at it from the perspective of man, like imagine where this like friendship would be if we were like one of those like friendships where it's like they're always talking to each other, not like every day, because obviously it'd be like, all right, bro, like I don't really got anything today, so maybe not today, but just like throughout the years, just like doing check-ins and like whatnot, and maybe reaching out when it's like, bro, I don't really know how to feel about this, you got any like insight on this or any like advice? But like all in all, it still worked out for the better just because it's like we sit here now and it's like we're we're like two peas in a pod. It's kind of like we never really left, and I couldn't be any happier for that. Like, I always wanted to kind of get your like how you felt as far as like once I disappeared and I kind of went on this excursion and I was just gone. I kind of went on my little like anime character arc of just like, oh, I'm gonna go into this deep training and you're never gonna see me until like years later. And it's like, oh my god, look at so and so, blah blah blah. And yeah, like how did that make you feel if you were like feeling anything on that? And like how are you feeling right now as far as like where our friendship is at?
Truth be told, that basically the scenario, or basically what you had just described, happened for the majority of the people that I knew in high school. Let me not like name things specifically. But
Yeah, just ye old small townville, North Carolina, or yeah, we'll just we'll just put it at that.
just
Ye
go
old
blip,
North Carolina.
just do a little blip on that if you could.
Yeah.
Just a
Yes, yes,
blip.
yes.
Okay. But
Okay.
coming from, such a small town in,
Yeah.
in North Carolina, it's not uncommon for people, especially in that town, to just spread their wings. A lot of the people that I knew in that time, a lot of them, quite a few of them, flew the nest. And either
Mhm.
they decided, the military was for them. A lot of them that I knew who were particularly in my circle either decided to just either go to work or go to school or just find their way. And what you just described, honestly, is your origin story. It basically full on had an origin story like after you left high school, which is that's good. That's
Yes.
good. A lot of people don't have that type of courage to do something like that and to stick it out. But to circle back to the other part of your question when you're talking about, just basically thoughts.
Mhm.
I would say when we reconnected, I was like, ah, yeah, I know that. Hey, still got the nice eyebrows. Yeah. I think I actually did I actually say that? I can't even remember. I think I did say something
I
like
feel like you did, but like I definitely was just like, oh my god, like it's so good to see her again because I was just like of all the people that like I was looking forward to reconnecting from small townville North Carolina, I was just like, if I can reconnect with my homie of homies, my kohai, dearest old Kaimote, then like it's all good. Like I couldn't ask for like honestly, not even to try and just like gas you up or anything. There couldn't have been a better person that I could have linked up with first from there than yourself. And I just like I say that with all the love and adoration because it's like you of all the people that I met at that school, like I feel like there was just like a deeper like connection that we had hit at some point in that time frame where I was just like, yeah, she's awesome. I think we can be homies for a long, long time, and I want to try and be homies for a long, long time because this person's like that. I like her. She's dope.
I try. I try my hardest to be cool. I know I'm lame, but yeah, I try my best. I try my best.
But it's like,
I just think about being the type of person that like is just chill. Let's just be chill, you know? Because I feel like a little bit of chill goes a really long way. And people are they're impressionable to something like that. Um,
hmm.
that's definitely what I think.
And you know what? You speak about that where you're like, you think that you're a little lame. No, it's you literally just hit it right on the head with you being a chill individual. That's how I want to carry myself. Like, granted, for some people that know me, especially like this current version of myself, they know of the chaos. They know of like how I'm very much a chaotic, horny on main gremlin. But at my core, there is just this deep desire to maintain like that level of just chill and zen where I'm just very laid back. I'm very much just like, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm happy to just be here existing and just wanting to radiate that energy to other people because like you say, like that goes a long way and it has an effect on people. Like let them sit by you long enough and take in that energy and they will be like, yeah, maybe I am just kind of like blowing this out of proportion, or yeah, maybe I do need to just breathe and take a step back. Like one thing that definitely helped me was like obvious like one thing for sure is just like working on like having a more spiritual like connection. Like that definitely helped me because like
Mm-hmm.
for a while I had like this period where I was just not happy with anything in my life, and it was just really hard. So I had to just start doing some like soul searching and just really figure out how I could get back to having like a very content, fulfilled spirit. And it's like it didn't really delve into the whole like, oh yeah, let me like read some type of like religious text or anything or try and
The sacred
practice like any
text.
sort of like religion. Yeah, like not really get into like, oh yeah, the sacred texts or whatever, or try and like practice on, but it's more so like getting into meditation, getting grounded with nature and stuff, and just really just having like inner talks with myself. That helped a lot, but also doing yoga. That, oh my goodness. You want to talk about something that helped me not only physically but spiritually? That right there, that hits. And I still try and maintain that till this day. Plus, it helped me lose some weight. So that's something. So, like you speaking on that, like that hits home for me. That's one of the biggest things as to why I really enjoy like the connection that we have. But shift gears.
quick
Where we're at
quick
right now.
interjection to the comment about yoga, but
Yes.
I have seen an ongoing
Yes.
trend on Facebook where people have said that yoga is demonic, and I just thought that was very interesting. Very interesting that yeah, something that has existed
Mm.
for thousands of years is demonic all of a sudden. I was like, ah, yeah,
Well,
there's some mental gymnastics with that one. No pun intended.
well, you know what? I'm glad you said something about that because it's like it's just very telling of the landscape of our species, where it's like so many people are so invested in trying to demonize anything that is not of their norm, and I'm pretty sure you can go ahead and use context clues on who they are, but like I leave that to them to be miserable and to think that everything is the devil's work. I'm going to enjoy life. I know what that did for me, and I don't have any urge to make any sacrifices, at least not yet. And if I was going to sacrifice anything, it would probably be them. Maybe we would actually start seeing a couple of changes in our beloved world. But I digress. I feel like there's one thing that I did want to touch on. Um, the origins of your name that you use, Kaimote. So I know that you told me this briefly, but I'd like you to tell the lovelies at home about the origins of this word. Now, of course, the way that you use it is a little bit different than the actual word, which is kamote, correct?
That is actually quite correct. Yes. So as far as the origins, I have always okay, okay, origin story. We're gonna do a flashback, right? So it's like
Yeah.
early 2010 again, and I see a video on YouTube, and it's about this really cute Siberian Husky named Kaiser, and I was like, "Wow, what a great name!" So I stole
Mm.
it. Rest in peace to that doggo, though. Very sweet.
Aw.
But yeah, I was just like, yeah. So I looked up the meaning of it, and quick quiz: Kaiser, and I believe German is like an emperor of sorts. Yes, and a
I
Kaiserine
believe
is
so.
like a
Yes.
is the Empress. So I had been running that name since then for quite a long time. Very, 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 very super long. And in
Okay.
one form of another, I've always spelled it differently, but it's always been the same like phonetic pronunciation. So I was thinking of what I to do for my YouTube channel. And I was thinking of doing like the same thing because like Kaiser and Art was like my as far as like my business approach to like doing commissions and graphic design stuff, etc. But I was just like,
Mhm.
I don't want to go on that route because if I've learned anything working in my new field in graphic design, it's if you have a name that is very specific, you tend to shoehorn yourself into one audience, one demographic, and then it's very difficult for you to break out of it if you want to do other things. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and keep it general. I want to do a new name, obviously do a callback to my old one. So, fun fact, in Bisaya, or like I guess like Filipino culture, we do share like a lot of names or a lot of loan words that we have from Spanish for obvious reasons. So a camote is a sweet potato, and it's spelled I believe it's spelled with either a C or a K. I think it's a K.
Yes, I
It's
think.
spelled with a K or a C. It doesn't matter. It's interchangeable.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right,
it's a
right.
sweet potato. And I was just like, you know what? I always go by Kai, which is Kaii. Always. It's like a signature. Kai Mote. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, sweet potato. Yeah, sweet potato.
Yes. Oh my god, I love that so much. Like anytime I see that name, and it's like I remember you. Like I do remember the Kaiser name, and I remember that actually goes into like your Twitter name, right? Kaiser von Blitz.
Yes.
It's been so long.
So another fun fact, von Blitz is my that is a name for my character on Final Fantasy 14, which I have to say
Mm,
is critically acclaimed, which has a
yes.
which has a free demo all the way to
Yes. Go ahead and
Stormblood.
plug it. Go ahead and plug it.
I
Yes.
just want to I need the audience needs to know.
Yes.
Hold on. I gotta get the script. I gotta get the script. Give me just chotomate. Just one mo okay, here we go.
Ah, hi, hi.
All
Yes.
right, here we go. Here we go. Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 with an expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Stormblood up to level 70 for free with
For
no
free?
restrictions on playtime?
Oh my god. That is insanity. You have to tell me more about this.
Download it, play it, let it consume your soul. That's it. That's all you need to know. Start.
Yes, I
Make a
love that.
large woman. Make a large cat woman.
Yes, large muscle meow me. Large muscle meow me. Yes.
Yes,
Like
large
I have
arms.
a friend. So there is a friend that I actually need to get. I need her to play with you. She just finished Stormblood not too long ago. She now
Mm,
has a Pictomancer that's like level 85. She has been like
nice.
no lifing in this game so
Nice.
much, and I
Nice.
keep telling her that she needs to play with you. Because it's like she has like Pictomancer, she was doing Dragoon. She has a couple of other characters that she bounces around with, but right now she is like vibing with Pictomancer. And I
Hmm.
was just like, please, you have to play with my Kohai Kai. Like, this will be a match made in heaven. You guys will not stop playing. So I'm gonna try and get that tag team working. And like eventually I'm going to get back into this game for myself because I really did enjoy the time that I spent playing with you. I think I just didn't have the desire to do it on my own, and that's where I need to
Hmm.
change things because I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this experience with my homie. And it's like, well, my homie has a life. My homie's not always going to be there to play it. Okay, well, let me try and, like, I guess make friends. And that, like, never really worked out. Like, maybe I found two people, but like they didn't really hop on as much, and I was just kind of like, well, I don't know if I want to really do this all that much if I don't really have like a homie to play with. So I just said, I'll just stop playing. So that's on me, honestly, to just being able to find my own joy and like find my own experience in that where I don't need another person. So it is to say that FF14 is an immaculate game, especially with what they've been doing lately. Not even just with like the graphical overhaul and Dawn Trail and everything, but just like how it's really just cornered the market for how much you can do with that game and continue on with. And
Hmm.
and then to be free and to offer that type of stuff in like a free format, that is insanity. Where it's like, okay,
That
yeah, for
is,
some people they look at yes, and it's like for other people they may look at like, oh, but what about my World of Warcraft and all these other MMOs? And I'm like, that's fine. Not to say that you shouldn't be able to play those or enjoy those, but it's like let's give this 14 a try because we don't know how long it'll be until another like Final Fantasy MMO. Honestly, like it'll be a long, long time, I would imagine. Like maybe like the Final Fantasy 19 or 17 or something. Because I imagine like the 20th Final Fantasy is gonna be like this penultimate version of like a single player experience of Final Fantasy. And I mean that's fine. Like I know me personally when it comes to like the Final Fantasy series, I can't really call myself much of a Final Fantasy fan. I wouldn't want to do that to begin with. Like I love the experiences that I've had with like 6 and 9 and 10, 10 2 and 12, and then of course 14. But I can't really say that, oh yeah, like I enjoy everything about Final Fantasy. Like I enjoy certain things about Final Fantasy, but I just know that that's not my series.
I would definitely say that it 14 as a whole has grown quite a bit since your last foray into it. I know that
Hmm.
when we were trying to play, there were a lot of things like we were getting bottlenecked with like certain quests where you had to like do a task, do the dungeon, like dun dun the dungeon.
Oh,
But
oh no.
since then, they've completely revamped that to the point where that has been split. Like those things I know that you had to do like at that time, which is the bottleneck at like level 50, have been chopped up and split open. So some of them you don't even do with other people anymore. So they completely cut that out so you can just experience it on your own. Like we call those like duties. Like you just sort of like do a quest or you're fighting something on your own without like without anybody else. So you could just basically do it like how you wish to do it. And then we have like the little dungeons and stuff. But they did huge improvements in which you don't have to wait for anybody anymore to do any of that content. They actually introduced something where you can run those dungeon contents with NPCs. You don't even have to like run it with anybody. You can run it with NPCs all day if you don't want to like interact with people or you just want to get it done and you're tired of waiting, which
Right,
the good
right.
thing is that if you ever or whenever you do decide to return, I am
Mhm.
wide open. Big Cat Lady is here to carry you through the
Oh
dungeon.
my goodness.
I would on
Bless.
the front of my washboard furry abs, you will have a great
Oh my
time. And
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm just awaiting your return with bated breath. You left you left me,
Oh my goodness.
but it's okay.
Is this becoming like a fanfic? But yes, trust me, I will be back. Because like the way things are going for me, I I do hope to be back by the end of this year. Like,
Love to see it.
this
Love to
isn't
see
really
it.
meant to be about me. Like, this isn't really meant to be about me, but I've been doing some things. I've been putting in that work so that I can be able to enjoy certain things like that, where I can sit there and enjoy the company of my kohai on some Final Fantasy 14 along with other people. But like, let us get into some what you are currently doing, because you gave a tidbit of what you have planned for tomorrow, but this is going into a bigger thing. So if you would kindly get into like the future plans of one kaimote.
I would be so glad to share that. So, after a lot of, okay, so long story short, um, I am a graphic designer, and that is what I went to school for. I am good at it, but I know that
Yes, very much so.
it's thank you. I know that the industry is changing. Everybody knows that AI art is on the rise, and you know what? It will continue to get better, and I am not the type of person to impede the progress of technology. But at it's you're a fool to think that something like that is going to happen. I can just see the writing on the wall when it comes to being the designer, and just
Mhm.
the gradual acceptance that I'm a selfish artist. I like to draw and I like to tell the stories and do the things that I like to do. And I was thinking of, oh, well, what if I did like video game design and stuff like that? And it was just basically, you know what? I know what would happen. It's the same thing would happen now. I would get into that job. I will be told that I had to do something in their parameters, and it
Yeah.
would not matter what I felt like, what story I wanted to tell, how I want the characters or
Yeah.
designs that I think they should look like. It would just basically, I would just be a medium or a tool for someone else's imagination. And I realized that while I can do it, I can disconnect from graphic design and still do it. It is, yeah, it would have to be something I would have to do for the rest of my life. That as well, the industry for designers is very oversaturated. Um, Everybody is a designer now, for better or for worse, however it should be taken. Anybody can go on their phone, download an app, and it's really changed how you can even just get a job as a designer. A lot of people can just do a lot of those things in one role, or they expect you to do multiple roles as a designer. So I was thinking, back when I went to Final Fantasy XIV's Fan Fest, last year in Vegas, whoop whoop, I was
Yeah.
on a plane. And for those who don't know, I am a pilot, private pilot since 2013. I hadn't flown in a while, like me flying a plane. Every time I got on there, I'm sitting at the window seat and I'm looking at everything. And every time I'm getting on there, it's, oh wow, this could be me. But I always just went and squash at them, because you know what? I think to myself, I made my choice. But this last time, I was just once I got into like the actual job, I was like, this is a time for change. I'm about 30 something. If I am going to make a change for myself so I can support myself, my family, and support them well and not be a starving artist, stereotype, and do something that I know I can be proud of, now is the time to do it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh my goodness, that was so well spoken, hun. And but it's like it you really did touch on a lot of things, and it's like, especially when it comes to being an artistic type, because even me myself, like, granted, I am in no way shape or form like a full-fledged artist where I'm drawing and whatnot or doing any sort of graphic designing, but it's like I understand the gripes, the growing pains that come with trying to be in an industry like that, where you can be seen as expendable at any moment just because somebody decided to go ahead and put together enough code to where any company with enough capital can just say, well, go ahead and just use that thing and it'll spit out something somewhat decent and we'll just go ahead and use that rather than an actual human being that can
Mm-hmm.
put
Mm-hmm.
their love and care into it. And that is very infuriating to deal with when you're somebody that you've always been about, like, creating stories and telling stories and conveying feelings through art. And we kind of see this going on and on and on, and it becomes very frustrating to try and, like, keep it stuffed down. And, like, I commend you for being able to maintain what you're doing right now, but also see that, yeah, there is a calling to get into something else that will sustain me as well as my loved ones for a much greater
Mm-hmm.
time. And honestly, I'm super excited to think about the potential of you being like a pilot for, like, anything, especially like being like a private pilot. I think that is super dope because then it's like, imagine like having like the opportunity to be requested by certain people, especially like people that you may follow and you're like very in tune with their journeys and stuff, and then you eventually get to be the person that flies them into like a very important meeting or something. That has to be surreal. I would say that would be super surreal.
It is. It truly is. And I'm just so excited for the journey. I'm just so excited to relearn, to start fresh, and to really just embark on something new.
Yes, hell yes. So we're gonna actually take a brief little break, and I think when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and get into what is actually, at least for me, why I wanted to bring you in here. And it's actually the title of this episode, and that is The Art of Great Value. So, you guys take a
Nice.
little break moment to enjoy this music, and we'll be right back. Hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little bit of music. Hopefully you guys got to get some snackies and stuff, or maybe you cheated and you fast forwarded because you just have that type of sense. In which case, more power to you. We are back. Me and my dearest Kohai Kaimote. We were just talking with her about some of her future plans. We talked a little bit about our history together, and now I feel like we need to get into one of my favorite things that has come about from this lovely sweet potato in the form of her getting into gaming as well as doing some playthroughs, let's plays, and streaming. So, as a result of such, um, what brings us to the title of this lovely podcast, her playthrough of Resident Evil 4 Remake is probably one of my favorite things to have experienced in the last calendar year. And it was, at least to me, the birth of great value. And I would love for you to explain in vivid detail what brought about this term, please, if you would.
Just unlocked a core memory. Wow. Wow. That just unlocked a core memory. Because I was just like, what is this? What are they talking about? And I was just like, you know what? Yes, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So how that came to be is I just happened to be on TikTok one day and I was looking at like some videos from DVD streamers, and there was just one particular dude specifically. And from what I remember, he was a survivor on Dead by Daylight, if for those not familiar. And he had this knack for looping killers, putting them on a chase, etc. I have to find the videos because he puts, I think, like these inappropriate fart noises, and I love fart noises in like videos. Yeah.
Oh my god,
And
yes.
he would say like something, like he would run some sort of like perk or something, or like some sort of item, or just do something in general. And he's just like, yes, we're gonna get some great value on this. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow. And then you're right. And so I started streaming and I was doing my little thing with Leon. And I was like, you know what? Let's be efficient. Let's do some stuff that has some great value in it. TM Walmart.
Mm,
And let's just do it. So it
yes.
just kind of, I kind of adopted it and took it from there.
And honestly, who better than you? But also, let's not just address him as Leon. When you're doing this playthrough, he is no longer just Leon. He is known as Baby Girl Leon for obvious reasons. And as such, I have gone about addressing him as Baby Girl Leon as a result of watching your playthrough. When I say this is by far one of my favorite things that I have experienced in the last calendar year, I mean it. Like I had
It's the
nothing
only
but
thing I've done, so
pure
thank you.
joy and elation anytime. Okay, so let's just completely glance over the fact that you also live streamed like Amanda's playtime or whatever, right? Like we're not gonna overlook that you also did that, which I had fun with that as well. Like that was a really fun time. But like you've been doing a lot of great things whenever you've had the ability to, and it just makes me want to see you able to do more. Now I understand that's totally up to if you have the time for it, if you have the means for it. But like whenever I was like, I want to see you be able to take off with this, I meant it because like you bring like this very unique, finely niched air to it, and it just makes me happy anytime I've been able to see you do
Uh-oh,
something.
Tokyo Drift.
And like yeah, for real. Like Friday night in like harbor section of Baltimore. Like yes, lovely times. But like for real, like seeing you do that playthrough of Resident Evil 4. Oh, let me get it right. It's not Resident Evil 4, it's Resident Evil 4 remake. That's how you titled it. That's how I knew it was going to be great value.
Oh, I forgot all about it. Yeah, I remember I had
Yes.
I did do that. I changed the name, or at least I said it was Resident Evil 4, which Baby Girl Leon.
Yes.
Yes, what a comeback. Ah, what a time to be alive, man. Mm. Um, I would like to take
Yeah,
this
like there were
time.
so many like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
I would like to take this time to say RIP to Resident Evil 2 in my playthrough with Resident Evil 2. I need the people to know. The audience needs to know. I was scared shitless trying to play that damn game. And plus, no less, I was trying to play it on the PlayStation. Fun fact about your favorite streamer, Little Potato Kaimote. I suck at
Hmm.
aiming with
Oh
joysticks
my
on a
god.
controller. I can't do it. Can't do it. A mouse though, man, I'm a professional.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
a professional. So that's all those headshots that you saw, like those leg shots and everything with four,
Yeah.
thanks to hello,
Hmm.
a Logitech Hero G502. I'm not sponsored. I don't sponsor them in any type of way. I'm not affiliated with them, so please. But
Yeah.
anyways,
But like you were going ham. Yeah, like you were definitely going ham. I was just eh, like going past the times where I was just like, oh my gosh, she is in her bag with like the comedy and the pacing in this. But like whenever you're in combat, you're just dispatching enemies with the greatest of ease. I was just like, God, she's on one. She's really doing it. So like this I hope that anybody listening is like if you're kind of like, oh well, should I invest in keyboard and mouse? Well, I would say yes. I feel like if you want that like just one of one like ability to really just go and be a professional like pumpkin popper, then I would say let my dearest Kohai here be a testimony to such.
and it's just oh man, people who use joysticks to aim are cruel and unusual. They're weird. They're aliens. Just saying,
Oh,
just out there. Very very
oh,
unusual. Not just not
oh.
the oh.
Well, I mean, I do consider myself quite unusual, so I guess that makes sense.
But it's just not something
I
I've
mean,
been
like,
ever been able to poop star for me. So if you're ever watching, you go back, you watch those playthroughs with me doing Resident Evil 2 and just talk about, damn, damn, she can't work. Ain't worth shit. What is that? What are you hitting? What are you like? You got
oh
like
my
three bullets and you spent four of them like attacking the wall behind the zombie, which is behind you. What is
oh
going
my god.
on? This is not
Uh,
Gucci. Not Gucci at all. So I was running out of
yeah,
stuff. At one point there is an Easter egg on I think the on one of the
yeah.
videos on like the first or I believe it's the second one where it actually glitches out and you have to like make a choice as to like hey, which choice you're gonna make. It's kind of similar to what's his name? Markiplier when he did his interactive video, so where you would have to choose like what you're going to do, and it plays a different video according to what you chose. I was going on that
Uh,
route, but I was also watching Loki at the time. So the whole thing about short synopsis, the whole thing about Loki, the prime takeaway that I made is that you are on like the prime timeline. And if you deviate from that, you are you're something else. Like you're something that needs to be pruned or like that timeline needs to be taken away. So how I did it was I was like, you know what? What happened is that my OBS had crashed and I had lost
oh,
all of my playthrough from a certain point onward. It just froze. I lost everything. So what I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and replay from that moment onward, but let's just make it so the viewer has a choice. They can either choose to stay on the timeline, which is like corrupted at this point, and it will just say, "Oh, well, I mean, that's end of the game," or they can go and continue to a different one where I actually did finish the stream, and then they can watch the rest of the video. So I know that that was like really long and convoluted, but I was very proud of myself for that. And if anybody wants to go
Yeah.
back and watch that, it would be greatly appreciated. I was very proud of that little tiny video.
Yes, please. Like, let me take this moment to definitely plug her YouTube channel, Kai Mote. That is Kai with two eyes and Mote. So please, 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 please indulge in her humble beginnings with RE2 and then go into Resident Evil 4 where you can really see her just really shining. And then take a look at some of her streamed content as well. She has a couple of live streams as well on there. I think it was fantastical. And I look forward to seeing what happens next. This does let me. We're gonna double back into the RE2. Um, do not feel bad because I too did Resident Evil 2 remake on PlayStation. My thing is that I never finished it because I was trying to stream it, but this is while I was inebriated, and I never finished it technically as a result of such.
Inebriated.
Like I
Fancy.
ended up putting my yes, yes, I was as some of the kids say furred. I was not all the way there, but I was still playing, and I managed to get myself into a situation where I was caught in the police department in oh my god, I'm trying to remember the specific safe room, but it is the western portion of the police academy, and I caught myself in a very tight pickle where I had on one side a liquor and on the other side Mr. X, and I had no ammunition.
Sounds like a good
And I
time, man.
remember, yeah, and all I remember is that, and I go back every now and then just to kind of give myself, just kind of like give myself a good laugh, and I like see myself I'm watching the video, and all I say because I'm running away from Mr. X is I hit the corner, and the liquor just comes out and just does the liquor thing, and not like because for some people they'll look at that and they're like, "Oh shit, it's a liquor. I'm just gonna go back," or they might get jump scared and they lose their shit and they get attacked. Me, I see the liquor and it's like my brain is trying to process it and it finally processes it. It's like, oh, it's a liquor, and I just turn around and I just kind of like waddle my way back into like the safe room. I'm like, I just sit there and I'm like, oh, what do I do? I just felt like
Oh
it was just
no.
such a like, yeah, it's like, oh my god, that's literally what happened for me. I'm just like, oh no, whatever am I gonna do? And I just sit there and I just can't help but laugh every time I see it because I was like, bro, what even was that? And it's like, I never did go back to actually try and stream the rest of it. I went and I played it off stream, but I was just like, damn, like, what an interesting way to try and conduct that. Because I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, like Resident Evil 2, this game has a lot of history for me. This was like the very first Resident Evil that I ever got to experience with like my dad and my uncle because they were cool and they're like, hey, even though you're a little too young to be watching this type of game, we're not gonna let you watch us play this, but you can't tell your moms. I was like, okay. And yeah, so I have a nice little like connection and history with Resident Evil as a whole, as a result of such.
I love to see it. Love to see
But
it.
just
I
yeah,
got my
yeah.
origins with playing, I think it's Resident Evil Nemesis. I believe that was the third one. And I had it for the PlayStation 1. I played it on the PS1. My dad just bought it from Blockbuster. I guess it was on sale or some mess. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll play
Hell
it. And I
yeah.
was just like, oh wow, this is hard because what Capcom game made in the early 2000s was not hard. Come on. Awful, like
Yes,
in a
for
good way,
sure.
because obviously these games were very well loved. But
Mhm.
oof, I didn't make far. I didn't make it far, obviously. There were no high hopes for me. A
Oh my
10-year-old
god, like tell me
playing
about it.
Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Right? Like, just, hey, you're just trying to comprehend everything that's going on. It's just, like, Resident Evil as an entire series it really does a lot for me in all of this campiness and where it's heading now. And it's like I still hold true. I still hold to my like offer to you because I would like to see them do something Resident Evil 5 as
Oh man.
jarring and as kind of like polarizing as that game is for some people.
Yo,
I would like to have an experience where we could do that co-op playthrough, and
yo.
I would be super hyped for that.
If five comes out, it's all over. It's all over. It's all over.
Oh yes, yes,
Yes.
and I mean,
I've got some people who are like, yeah, yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, I was just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. You just know. You just know. If I get that game, we get that game, it is
mhm,
on.
yeah, oh yes, and I am calling dibs on Shiva. It has to be.
Oh, oh,
Like Chris is my homie, but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I have no problem just playing like the baddie and just doing my thing. Yeah, so that's the only thing. I feel like it is only fair to have you running the show as big, strong Chris Redfield. I feel like that makes sense.
yes. Large. Large and will save you. Yes, I
Yes,
can see
large
that.
man.
Large man.
Yes. That like to kind of wrap up this Resident Evil talk. I still have to watch the recent movie they did, the animated movie. I think it's Death Island. I still have to watch that
I
because that's
heard
kind
about
of
it. I've
like they
never
do
watched
like
it.
the whole
Mhm.
like yeah, like I think that's where they kind of do like that whole like Avengers style team up where it's like everybody's here. Like, hey, look, it's Chris, it's Leon, it's Rebecca, it's Jill, it's Claire, it's everybody. And I'm just like, oh, sick, dude. So yeah, like oh, I might watch that either tonight or tomorrow because I enjoy like the animated Resident Evil films. They're still a level of campiness, but they're also really anime, and I enjoy them in comparison to the live action movies, which I'm
That's
just like
so
I try my
anime.
best to enjoy them. Yeah, like my dad loves them. More power to him as far as like the live action. I tried, but I think when I saw Mike Epps in the Resident Evil films, I was like, I think I'm good.
I'll just have a seat right here.
Yeah, I was like, that's all I needed to see. Like you had me in the first half. That first one, yeah. After that, I was just like, like I don't know, man. I think I'm gone. I think I'm out of this one. But yeah, like what a series. Capcom doing good. Good on them. I just need them to bring back Dino Crisis.
D- Who are you telling?
Yes, thank you. I'm glad someone else understands my plight.
I guess because it was so obscure
Like,
and
is that
its
hard?
playstyle was too, I guess it was just too similar to, it's an IP that's very similar to Resident Evil in its gameplay and in its conception.
I,
So I
I
suppose they just
know.
picked the more popular of the two, if I had to take a guess. I'm not really quite sure what really truly led to Dino
Yeah,
Crisis kind of just being left on a shelf, but it could really just be as simple as that. They just left it on the shelf
yeah, very true.
and said they were going to return later and never did.
Yeah, and I swear to you, if anybody tries to tell me that Exo Primal is supposed to be that spiritual successor,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
ain't
have
no spiritual
problems.
nothing. Nothing spiritual about it.
Yeah, I, because I tried it. I was like, oh yeah, this is not it. Yeah, this ain't it. I'm not gonna even give this any more than like 5 minutes. And I just left it alone. I, but yes, I have at least one more like not even really a question because it's like it kind of got answered at the very beginning. But like there's a certain nickname you give me because it's like uh, we kind of establish ourselves
I don't know
as
what you're talking about.
like granted we're always okay. Okay, I'm getting there. Trust me, I'm getting there. But so, like, obviously, we're homies. We're the friend of friends. But like, we also like to use the kohai senpai terms for our like friendship, and it's like you give me a very peculiar nickname at times to go with
It is
senpai. Would
completely
you
normal.
perhaps elaborate on this?
I would like to
Okay,
not
I would
elaborate.
like for you to share. I would love for you to at least give a little backstory to the lovelies at home because I get a kick out of it every time, and I appreciate it all the same.
Double wide senpai.
Oh my
Completely is
god!
very normal. It's
Yes,
a very normal nickname, very normal. Double wide
yes, very normal.
senpai is it. You know what? The jokes write themselves. It's self-explanatory. I don't think I need to go any further with this
Oh
because
my
I think that it's very
god!
clearly understandable.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's say that there's an individual that is not familiar with the term double wide. Where, where perchance might they discover the terminology for this word?
Honestly, if they were stuck behind you in traffic, I think that would be a perfect app description.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. I like that. I like that. I like that analogy.
Double wide,
It is.
for the enraptured listener is a nickname I came up with my beloved senpai because this person, as as stated before, has the fattest ass you will ever see.
Oh my goodness.
It's just
Oh my
like
gosh.
you gotta walk sideways through the door, man. It's like, damn, that
Wow.
thing is thick
Wow.
with three C's.
Wow.
So I said, you know
Wow.
what? Double wide. They call double wides the trailers that they put on like the houses, like the houses that you buy, and they
Yes.
put it on the trailers and they call them double
Mm,
wides. Like the huge ones where
mm,
they say wide load coming down the highway and you have to move out the way.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Mm. Oh,
I hope
well,
I gave the people
yes.
what they were wanting.
Thank you so much. Yes, you have to get. You got to give the people what they want. I thank you so much for that. I just ah, this has been very like this has been very therapeutic. I would say, as far as like a first episode in terms of like inviting a friend in, inviting a very trusted confidant, if you will. And I can only think of like how many other experiences and like memories can be made. So, like, I guess the last question that I would ask for you is simply like, what helps you make a very meaningful memory? What are some things that really contribute to a meaningful memory to you?
I would say just lasting effect, residual emotion. Oh, wow, wow, those really don't explain anything, do they? But typically the memories I make the most that have the most meaning or that stand out the most are ones that are fun, particularly ones that are funny. I love funny things and I love having fun. So I think those are really important building blocks for really getting, the TM, a core memory. Um, and they're just like the building blocks for just like all those fun times you have, truthfully.
Okay, I feel that. I honestly feel that because it's like I sit here and I think because I like to reflect on a lot of things. Like I even had to sit here and like reflect on this past year that I have had in like Maryland and just what I've been able to really start putting together for my future. And it's like I think about a lot of the memories. Like yeah, there are some bad, but there's also a lot of good. And it also causes me to delve back further and just think about a lot of the experiences I've had to kind of bring me to this point. Just as kind of like a hey, yeah, you're not doing half bad, kid. Because it's not it doesn't take much for me to kind of get in my head at times and just kind of think about like, oh, like are you really like in a good spot? Are you really doing as much as you'd like to do? And it's like no, but at the same time, it's like I'm doing just enough
Hmm.
to have somewhat of a meaningful life, and I'm learning to have more content in that, and not just be like screaming at myself to try and do more than I need to do. Like I find that that's making my life that much more enjoyable these days.
Yeah, nah, sometimes you have to temper your expectations, not only for other people, but for yourself. And what is possible, what you can actually do, and accept that, it's okay to not be able to do like everything or be able to, get through every situation like a superhero, because that's not the case. Um,
Yeah,
and you just have to be kind to yourself, truly.
I couldn't have said it better myself, my dear. Well, I don't know about you. I think that is all I have for you. The only thing that I can ask before giving you all the things, all the flowers, is to plug yourself. Go ahead and let these lovelies know where they can find you if they want to learn more about you, or maybe even just maybe play a game with you. Maybe play some Final Fantasy 14 with you. Where can these people find you as far as like all of your socials and such?
I cannot be found. I don't exist. But okay, anyways, jokes aside, I can be found on YouTube. My YouTube is Kaimote. That's Kaimote. If you can't remember that, remember sweet potato, and that's all you need to know. Other than that, I am a longtime resident. Um, I would say even a senior citizen of Final Fantasy 14. I am proud to say that I am a homeowner in that game, of course not in real life. And I am on the Ether server. My name is Kaiser Von
Oof,
Blitz on
child.
Final Fantasy 14. I am on Midgard, and we have a free company, or as you most other MMO players might know it, a guild, and still looking for people.
Yes.
If you would like to join, you're more than welcome to. Just, inquiring minds. We're, wait, did I mess it up? Uh, how was the saying go?
No, maybe.
Inquiring minds apply within. There we go. There we go.
Yes.
But otherwise, I just be chilling. I do hope to return to YouTube eventually. I do know that there has just been so many things that have occupied my mind space as of lately, you know, being a pilot and all. But I
Mhm.
have still, looking over my videos and just seeing me play them, it just reminds me all over again about why I started it again in the first place. And that joy. And I just hope that I can continue to do that again in the future and hopefully get people who just enjoy watching me be stupid on the internet for free. So
I couldn't have said it better myself, my dear. Well, thank you, as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 100, 1,000, a million times over. You are truly a joy and a wonder to talk to at any time. Not even just on recordings, but just in general. And I am ever so grateful to have someone like you in my life. This has been Truly a magnificent experience. And I hope to do more of this in the future, not even just for podcast sake, but just in general.
Hmm.
Yes. All right. And to all you lovelies that have tuned into this rather live and living color experience with me being outside and really drinking in the environment and the ambiance. Hopefully, that was not too disturbing to you. I truly do apologize. Hopefully, I can have better uh, acoustics and ambiance in the next episode that I have with somebody.
Yes,
But
ambiance.
if it was, yes, if it
Gotta light the
was very
incense.
hard to enjoy this, ah, yes, I do want to get some incense. Not even gonna hold you. I do need some. But yes, if it was a little bit hard to listen to, I do apologize. I take no offense if you could not even get through this entire episode. But if you were able to stick to around to the very end, I could not be any more appreciative and grateful for that. Uh, the next episode will be in 2 weeks, and as such, that might actually come just before I take my little trip. I'm getting ready to go to Tennessee for a couple of weeks to be with some friends. It has been about
Ooh.
a year and a half since I've seen some of these people, and I told them that I was going to come and visit. So that is where things for me lie in the future. And yeah, I'll be doing a couple of episodes of the podcast in Tennessee with some of these people, and I think they'll be actual live episodes. So get ready for that, I guess. Yeah.
Love to see it. Love to see it. But I would just like to say thank you so
Yes.
much for inviting me. It was a real joy to just hear like some of the things that you thought, and just the impression that I was able to leave on you is just really important to me. And it just lets me know that I'm continuing to go in the right direction, as I am as a person, as a being, as a sweet potato. And I hope to continue to
Yes.
always follow that example, hopefully. And I hope you always, may your ass always be wide.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, my dear. And yes, I will do my best to maintain the most just rambunctious dumpy just for your sake.
Thank you.
But
It is most
yes,
appreciative. How very kind of you. Very
oh,
thoughtful.
anytime. Anytime, my dear. But yes, to all the lovelies that have been listening, I do want to take this moment to show appreciation to you all. Um, this has been the Sergiverse podcast. I wish you all a
Tokyo Drift.
lovely evening for both myself. Yes. What is that? Is that a? I don't know what that is. That is a Quest, I guess, tanker style truck. But yes, I want to thank you all. I want to wish you all a lovely evening. I want you all to stay healed up and to also stay caked up. I bid you all a
Hey.
lovely night from me and Kai Mote.
Good
Bye
night.
bye. All my lovelies. 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 Sing it now.